advances. So close your eyes. Eyes are closed, and then place position and posture. We will contemplate, reflect on position, posture, place, position, and posture. Place of the body, what it has to do with the eye maker. Eye maker, it is like an ice maker. I have to reflect on it. What? No, I am sitting. No, I am not sitting. Body is sitting. Body is sitting. But if you keep that I maker responsible, then we are already living in ignorance. And then we may learn the highest principles. It is not going to work. Position of the body. So I have to recognize. So I maker recognizes, and I maker drops the idea that I am doing it. So what happens? Both drops. And you are simply aware of place, position, and posture. I believe that makes a sense to. That is the mood of the mind. It has nothing to do with I, it is the mood of the mind. And now being comfortable. So being comfortable is simple. Comfort is already within us. First thing, the mind follows me. I do not follow the mind. That is to be understood. Understanding means knowledge. Knowledge means delusion is gone. But if we don't follow, then this so you simply, what we do, you just move the mind on the body. Nowhere I maker is there. Or if it claims I am the doer doing, you just recognize it. It is all body and the mind. It is all a play. It is all a perception, not projection. You go to the office, you see the employees, that is perception. It is perception. Projection comes I maker comes, and then I get into anxiety. The I maker is salty and it wants to be sweet. Its nature is salty. That is why I say I went to the office and then I had a problem. I got into anxiety. We have to recognize. So when you recognize, it is gone. But if we recognize by the I maker, then it strengthens. Then it strengthens the I maker. In the earlier session, the guy was saying that I do Om Shanti during the day. I said, you are doing your Om Shanti, and the eye maker says, I'm in anxiety. You are saying Om Shanti, eye maker looks at the honey, it has already a projected impression, and it's saying, I'm terribly disturbed by the honey. What will happen? Nothing will happen. You do it for 100 years, no change. I have to recognize. What do you mean by recognize? I have to be aware. What do you mean by aware? Awareness is understanding, knowledge. That needs to be understood again and again. Or I would say, the mind has to return again and again. Now, in that state, make sure what is the state? In the state of place, position, and posture, in the state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Why do you feel you have changed the direction of the mind? And then you are also carefree. Then you look at the breath. Then you look at the breath. Breath is not you. You look at the breath. I have to recognize it. Breath is not me. I maker hides. What it hides? It hides breath is not me. So it says the breath is me, and then it practices breathing, and then it says, oh, I feel good. You are already good. That needs to be understood. We will make a progress by recognizing that I maker should not be there. So you know the breath is there, lungs is there, nose is there, body is there. Yes, you understood. This is none of you. Very good. And then you know the rib cage? Yes, I know the rib cage is also not me. And then I say you start breathing long, deep, and fast into the chest. Continue. 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 And now stop this, pay attention to the flow of the breath. Again, ask the mind or the intellect, check it. If I maker is to claim that you did it, or it is simply the breath body. I have to put a thought into my crazy mind. We are not aware of the breath 24 by 7, even during sleep. How can we claim we are breathing? Simply the breath rate has changed. And if I am breathing, then I am the breath, then I am the lungs, then I am the nose. You have to repeat it again and again while looking at the flow of the breath. Whether the breath is equal or not, it is okay, but mind deeper inside has to be clear. If it is not clear, what will happen? The way I explained, you are saying Om Shanti, but mind, I maker is somewhere else. I maker says my honey is crazy, Om Shanti. My honey is crazy. It will not work. Person 1 is absorbed in the movement of the breath, if I say so. And the person 2 is singing its own, person 2 is singing its own tune from the past memories, how it will change. So, but yes, and the person 3, all vasanas become active. You know what I'm saying? You are aware of the breath. It is person 1 or mind number 1. Mind number 2, the current impression of I-ness. And person 3, all vasanas. Very deep impression is there. So that deep impression triggers from mind number 3 to 2, and then 2 is somewhere else and 1 is somewhere else. So for that I have to be aware. I recognize, and if I recognize, I bring the mind again and again on the breath. Breath is moving on its own, there is no need to be I maker. So it means what? It means as the mind is distracted, we don't get worried. We remember what I'm doing, just in awareness on the flow of the breath. You are aware of the flow of the breath. You feel the sensation of the breath. You recognize the sensation of the breath in and out. When I'm saying you, it is your mind listening. Mind follows. Behind that flow of the breath, there is a space and blankness and emptiness. How come? How come the birds are flying in the sky? So behind all the birds, there is a sky. There is always unchanging, unchanging behind all the changes. That is what I'm saying. So there is always unchanging behind the changes. So if we are, or mind, if we are aware, we are aware of the flow, sensation of the breath is within the space or blankness or emptiness. Why we do that? To break the I maker. I maker lives in delusion. Otherwise, we are free, just awareness of the flow of the breath. Where is the problem? So I have to recognize again and again and again. That will work. And now, with that flow of the breath, we recognize, we recognize the space, we recognize the space within, or if I say behind, the flow of the breath. In that space, we can discover the mantra of Mangala Charan. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. You are chanting the mantra and looking into that space or blankness. Yes, Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Looking into that space. It is, mantra is there. Recognition that mantra is there. It is not in I maker. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Yeah, the meaning of the first is may there be happiness for all. So meaning may there be happiness for all. I maker enters and says, I was not happy. I'm talking of now. I'm not talking of the past. That is how, one example, that is how the I maker causes the problem. Sarvesham, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. You are looking into the space. Your mind is not looking at the eye maker. Oh, where is it? How it can be possible? Why I told you? It is not possible. Eye maker is salty. Or I can say always in anxiety, reaction. How we can expect peace should be there. So that is why it causes the distraction, wandering mind. Sarvesham Shantirbhavatu. I recognize that Shanti. I recognize that Shanti is located in the space behind all distractions caused by eye maker. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam. May there be wholeness and completeness in all. May there be wholeness in all. Can't I recognize if any thought comes is a part, not whole? I recognize. So when I recognize, it drops by itself. It drops. No, it is not dropping. That is what the ego is. It is not dropping. So again I say yes, it is whole. Thought cannot be whole. Thought is always in parts. Thought or sensation cannot be whole. It is always in parts. You can minimize that eye maker. It takes time. Can we do it every time during the day? Yes, we should be doing. Before you enter into the office, you do it. Then where is the problem? I forget it. Why you forget it? So that is the job of the eye maker. Oh. And now do nothing. So we can argue a lot. You were addressing me to do this, so I am the doer. Okay, do nothing. So when I say do nothing, the eye maker says how to do nothing. We have to recognize it. What the hell, eye maker? Why you are asking me do nothing? When the eye maker asks to do nothing, we are still maintaining the I-ness. There is only an awareness and a consciousness, awareness of the body, awareness of the mind, awareness of the thought, awareness of the feeling, awareness of the anything will do. You are aware or aware of, both are okay. And then there is a trick. Where is that trick? So when we say, I'm not doing anything, there's still the thought, feeling, emotion, sensation, past impression huh, comes. So you remind by superimposing Shantoham. After all, when you say you forget it, so it means you recognize the mind forget. What? Awareness. Why? Because of the thought or feeling or anxiety. Why not? Why not remind by saying gently, Shantoham, I am the peace. I maker will say I am in anxiety. Your self awareness will say Shanto. Check again if the mind is wandering or really self aware. If wandering, job of I maker. If returns again and again, by dropping or saying Shantoham, you are good. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your Buddha palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you?
Better than in the beginning.
Much
better than in the beginning.
Much better than in the beginning. Now reduce the entire practice into the self-awareness. So when entire practice is reduced to self-awareness, it means I'm aware of the default setting of the mind and I move to the discernment mind. That is the practice. Whether you're doing breathing or not, whether you are chanting the mantra or not, it doesn't make any sense. To the seeker, to understanding the wisdom. Self-awareness. Am I focused when I'm going to talk? Yes, I am focused. No, mind is distracted. Shantoham. Better than in the beginning. Why? It was the default setting of the mind. We get carried away by the default setting of the mind. What is the default setting of the mind? I maker. What the I maker does? Defaulting to the states of anxiety, judgment, feeling, reaction, overwhelm. This is what is happening throughout the day, every day, for weeks, months, and years. I'm lost into that default setting of the mind. That is why I feel I'm better now. How can you break? Just by change to the discernment. What to do? You pick up only one shantam. Where are you, mind? Oh, I'm lost. Return. So when you are lost, what the eye maker says, I am busy. What the eye maker says, I don't like her. What the eye maker says, I am upset. What the eye maker says, I must do lot of things I have not done. That is what the default setting is. So I don't want to recognize, I want to remain busy, I want to remain upset, and I am seeking peace. So I maker continues deeper inside. Om Shanti. Even Om Shanti is causing me stress. I don't want to do it. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So throughout the day, it is not, yes, practice in the morning and evening. Leave everything. Drop all the practices. We are starting totally in a fresh way. So throughout the day, recognize you have forgotten, you were lost. Let me remind. Shantu, no, now I am with you. I'm just away. In the beginning, it will not happen, but gradually it will happen. So the default setting of the mind to dispassion setting of the mind, or you can say discernment setting. I become aware, coming from the past, memory, default setting. I have nothing to do with it. I maker is salty, it is gone. Why it will go away? It is a delusion. But if it doesn't go away, then we carry those impressions. So recognizing the default setting is very important. If I don't recognize, then I continue the I maker as it is. And I maker is searching a solution. I maker wants sweet, but it is already salty. I understand. I maker is already salty. And I am searching sweetness. So the salt, wherever it goes, it will make the things and events salty, and I am searching sweet. That is the job of I maker. That is what the default setting of the mind is. So I have to recognize. If I recognize, cognition, knowing, understanding, being aware, or self-aware is what recognizing is. But if I don't recognize one aspect, I don't want to recognize. I recognize first. I don't want to recognize second. Or you can say I forget it. Forgetfulness is a default setting. So third aspect, I don't want to recognize. Very deep embedded I maker. And still it will work. Shantoham. Shantoham. You can say mentally Shanto. I'm the piece of the image of the sky. So do I see? Am I aware of the space? Yes, I'm aware of the space. Did I need to do anything to be aware of the space in the sky? No. So there is a doer is not. So what happens? It changes the attitude instantly. And attitude purifies the mind. Changes the attitude. You are reacting to your honey inside your home, and someone knocks the door. You say, "Oh, just keep quiet, honey. I will also keep quiet." You don't extend it. Someone is at the door. That is what the self-awareness is. So if that can happen, it can happen anytime. So that is what we say, power of mantra, because either it can be happen by self-awareness, or if it is not happening, Shantoham. So it is your power, inherent power of self-awareness. It is less the power of, or you are just singing, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, before you step into your office or home, before you start driving, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. But I don't remember because of the I maker. I forget it because of the I maker. Forgetfulness does not mean that you died. I forget. Why I forget? So, once I understand this, it means I can consciously shift my mind from the default reactivity to a discernment mind. I'm upset with you, Shantaham. I am, yes, I make her upset. Not only during the practice, throughout the day. Shifting, changing the attitude. Changing the attitude is a purification. We can do it even with a mantra repetition. What is the principle if you look intellectually? It is conscious awareness. That awareness tells, oh, where you are in the office, but you are lost at home. Conscious awareness. That much at least, it is possible. We can apply the common sense and where you are? No, I'm in a session. Oh, mind, where are you? Where you have gone? Return. So first is the conscious awareness. With that awareness or self-awareness, if it's still the thought is constantly repeating itself, so we have a superimposition, Shanta. What is very important? The very change in that attitude at present. If we don't change the attitude and we continue doing it, it will not work. Why? And it will strengthen the eye maker. Eye maker say, I have done it. It doesn't. Nothing is happening. Yes, nothing will happen. Eye maker is salty. You cannot find sweetness. Why? I-ness is insecure. That is why it is constantly running. That is why it is working in the world. That is why it is searching peace and happiness. It is salty. On the other hand, our master says we have the power to create a discerning mind anytime, anywhere. Tell me if it is not. Discerning mind. I am angry, I know it. So I have a choice. Now I know that I am angry, so I have a choice not to be angry. I know I am upset, so I have a choice not to be upset. So I choose it. Attitude changes, upset is gone. Tell me. But if eye maker does not reflect in this way, then the eye maker strongly believes in the past impressions. It says what I recognize is the default setting of the mind. I'm in anxiety, I'm busy, I don't like her, I love her, I react to him. That is right, and then I'm gone. In that state, I can do any practice, it will not work. So, what I said, first is the practice we have done. Second, we reduce that practice into just a self awareness. So what I have to do with it? Anytime, anywhere. You are driving, you're walking, doing anything. Clear? Self-awareness, anytime, anywhere. So I'm upset, I recognize it, now I am no more upset. I am upset, I recognize it, and still the upset is not going. Shantoham. To return, to change the default setting. So it's a 24/7 practice. Last time also we did it. We discussed about it. Now practice number 3, or you can say It is the same practice. So I'm just explaining differently to drop in, dissolve that I maker. Unseen hand. Unseen hand means the blessing and the grace is coming from somewhere. I don't know. That is another way to drop this I maker. Do you ever feel like you are alone, struggling against the current? So when I feel I'm alone and I'm struggling, I have to struggle a lot. So that eye maker has covered you completely. That is the right moment to remember breath is going on 24 by 7. Body exists. Body continues to change. You give 10 thoughts which you don't do and still you exist. And it is only because of the blessing and the grace. Just name it, Krishna or Shiva. I have to think. If I don't think, this eye maker will already had a thought. It will return to its own thinking, default setting. So what it means, I recognize a constant blessing. I recognize a constant blessing. Thanks God in the morning for reminder. Thanks God when you wake up in the morning. Oh, thanks God, it's your grace I'm alive today. My ego says I'm alive because of me. Really? So what happens when you are in deep sleep? I have to remind myself why to change that default setting. That is all three practices are the same. Self-awareness, you remember, you forget, you remember, you recognize, and this is another way to remind that this eye maker is responsible for little earning money in the bank account, building a house, etc. But if the brick is not there, coming from the existence, how can I build the house? I have to crush it. So, recognition of a constant blessing, then you embrace the inherent support from inside. Mind, it was distracting, it will not. It will stop. It is known as the active gratitude. I am grateful to Shiva, grateful to the Shiva. So when you are saying I am grateful to the Shiva, continuously check and recognize if the eye maker is hiding behind and that is resisting. How can you say that everything is because of the Shiva? I have done lot of things. I paid the money to the Guru, that is why he is teaching me. We can say that. So we have to be very vigilant. And when we are vigilant, when we are using grace is present, it will change your mind. It will change. That is the third practice. It is also a practice. I'm just converting. So sometime you follow this practice of grace and the blessing, and other time, otherwise morning, evening you do it. And the second is the self-awareness, so-called the self. It is not a practice. It's just I become aware. The last one today, the last one, so-called the practice. I should recognize the ego driven thought, speech, and action, and then we apply the discernment. Why don't you understand? Honey, I told you, and you recognize it's a ego driven thought and action. You recognize, then you don't wait to complete it, you simply drop it. Honey, I will talk to you later. But if you continue, it will cause a lot of problems. It will hold you back. It happens with everyone. Because of the past impressions, we outburst. And then I remember, withdraw it. I have said hundreds of times, I'm extremely sorry, sir, I did the mistake. Can you forgive me? And people were surprised, he was so much tough on me, and now he is asking, sorry. Yes, we should say it. No issue with anyone. The ego or I maker has a remarkable way of manifesting itself. And it enters into the spiritual journey easily, and it is damn difficult to recognize. In a physical, social, professional activities, it is very easy to recognize, but it enters into the spiritual domain, it is very difficult to recognize. Give you an example. I have done something good to a person. So I felt a wave of resentment or an expectation of return. I have done so much for you. It is in the mind. At least you should appreciate me. No appreciation, resentment. I return with that resentment. Honey, I have done so much for you. Now I become angry over honey. That's often the subtle whisper of ego. Even in the works and acts we perceive as selfless. I have helped you. I have done selfless service. What you are talking about? What you are expecting in return? Internally, I'm demanding. Externally, I'm doing it. So we have to recognize these ego driven patterns in our thought, speech, and action. You recognize it, they are gone, and you are in discernment. Practice is the same. Whether you say it's a self awareness, you Mangalacharan practice, first one we did it for almost half an hour. Second, practice self awareness. Third is what we did, blessing in the grace. And the fourth one, now I recognize. So when I recognize and I know it is causing me the problem, I have to hammer it. No, I will not do it. So this recognition takes place at the subtler level. So once I recognize, I move beyond. But what I have done for others, it is just for the sake of the existence gave me, and I passed on to it. It is not happening, I have to repeat it. Repeat it again and again and again and again. So when you repeat it again and again and again, it will happen. Their spiritual ego is very difficult to recognize. You have spent hours volunteering for a community event, you feel exhausted, you are exhausted. Then someone criticizes a small detail, and your immediate thought might be, after all, I have done so much, and how dare they criticize me? I converted this, what this Indian guy told me. It took me 5 hours to reach to my ashram and 5 hours to return. I am totally exhausted. I said, who told you to go to the Guru? Guru did not tell you. He is no more physically. Or are you so much spiritual that you heard his voice? Please come. Don't make me fool.
But if we exhausted, it means that we are losing the awareness on the way.
Yeah, we are losing the awareness, and exhaustion is body exhausted. I am the body, that is why I am exhausted. I am the mind, that is why I experience exhaustion. It is the spiritual ego. Even I have done it, and then you are saying that you practice meditation. He was telling me in a group session, so separately I told him, who the hell told you to go to my master? Who? Did I tell you? You know what happened? That ego burst. Okay, then I will not go. After that, he was sorry. But now you have already expressed it. This is how the eye maker works daily in the life and makes us unaware. We forget everything in our life, and then we suffer.